속 모정 나머지 이름 그러나 그렇게 자본이 나스커요 아 우즈버디
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Your Brain on Air. I am your host, Ollie Vogt Larson, and Madden fans, rejoice. Sims fans, rejoice. Your favorite video game developers in Electronic Arts, also known as YBOA Studios, is officially owned by the Saudi government. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been purchased by the Saudis via the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund. Let's get a little bit of this news, because honestly, I've never been a fan of these series. I've played The Sims once or thrice. It's not that bad. Madden, I cannot get into it whatsoever. FIFA as well. I'm not a goy. I'm not remotely interested in it. So as a result, this doesn't deeply affect me. It's just really cool to see that the Americans and the Saudis are making their relationship even stronger.
Official Electronic Arts, based in Redwood City, is now a private company. The maker of popular franchises including The Sims and Madden NFL just closed its $55 billion sale. More than 90% of the company is now owned by the Saudi government. An investment firm backed by Jared Kushner is also involved. It's the largest ever buyout funded by private equity.
Jared Kushner's getting his little grubby mitts involved. Every little Jew, and by the way, there's no division between the Jews and the Muslims. There is to some extent, because they need to put on the idea of a race war and whatnot. That's at least what they want World War III to be all about. That's exactly why they're allowing so many people to start talking so openly about Israel, because they want you to hate the Jewish people as themselves. They want you to take the side of, well, we're Christians, we got the right, we're the ones with the right shit in our heads. But in reality, they're just trying to pit you guys against each other. And it's a lot of people, they like to fall into it because they have a lot of pride. They're like, well, I was baptized this. You know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense. If this one is the right one, it means that I've been right the whole time. Spoiler alert, none of us were right, unfortunately. Mario Lopez, I want to talk about this. Saved by the Bell. Anybody seen it? It's like one of these shows where it's like, if you have parents of that generation, they've put it on for you, and I'm like, it's typical sitcom. I'm not thoroughly impressed by it, but whatever. Mario Lopez himself is getting a bit of heat, a little bit of attention online. He deleted a post on X, I believe it was, Twitter. It was a video featuring his 19-year-old niece. The clip showed an AI version of her eating 2 hot dogs at a Dodgers game in an exaggerated way. Many viewers called it inappropriate, and Lopez later removed the post from his social media. Let's take a look at this together, because right here, it looks like he started with a photo of just her and him sitting together. He's wearing like a tank top Dodgers uniform, and a hat like backwards. She's wearing like what is it, a baseball shirt? I think that's what the texture. I don't know what it is, but she picks up 2 hot dogs with a lot of mustard, and it looks like pickles or like jalapenos or something. And then the caption says, "I can't take her anywhere."
Can't take her anywhere.
And she's eating it.
Oh my God, look at you!
He's like looking at her all exaggerated. The men and the women around her look shocked, and she just looks like really happy. She has the mustard pouring down her face, and it looks like it really, really got on her shirt. Wait a minute, there's like another hot dog being held by another arm. I think the AI got confused. She looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat with 4 arms holding different hot dogs. So he's extra eager. His niece, his 19-year-old niece. How old is Mario Lopez again? Mario Lopez, age. He's 52 years old. Yipes. October 10th, 1973. He's not an old guy, but he's getting there. He's definitely, it's someone less than half his age.
You're a mess, the mustard!
Now she's just rubbing it all over her face. Folks, I mean, it's jack-off material for some people out there. Like, it could be misconstrued as that way. So he's gone on social media. He's like, you guys are the freaks. You're the ones that are really out there. You're trying to sexualize my niece. I'm the one who can't take my slutty niece anywhere. She gets her fucking mustard all over herself. She gets, well, what would you do if you had a slutty niece like me? Wouldn't you also post her on Pornhub? Wouldn't you also put her face out there? Like, I don't know, digital AI. How does her parents feel about this, by the way? About their own, your brother or like brother-in-law taking your daughter to a Dodger Dodgers game, creating an AI video of her getting all weird and uncomfortable with like smearing mustard all over her shit. AI-ificate, how do you say it? AI sexification or whatever. There's like terminology that's being invented for it right now, which is like shit that we didn't think we'd ever have to deal with in this world. But imagine your neighbor, if they have a photo of you, an old photo, they can AI sexify you any moment they'd like. It's a really weird world we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. And Minnesota is looking to ban it. Elon Musk is jumping in and he's saying, well, no, actually, in reality, you don't want to ban this technology entirely, because what if you're not making creepy videos of your niece, your 19-year-old niece? What if it's of your wife? You know, what if it's of your polyamorous partners? What if like people deserve the right to make AI sexified images of somebody who might not know about it? That's apparent, you know. I don't know what the argument is here. I don't know what the kind of like the angle is where he's like, this is a freedom issue. This is like we don't want the government taking away our right to AI sexify people. I don't know what the argument is here, but it's a weird one, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I've had enough fun with Saved by the Bell star. Is it fair to call him a star? Is he like a star at this point? I have no idea. Mario Lopez, best of luck with you. I feel like really bad for the parents of her. I'm like, holy shit. I thought it was my brother. It was my brother-in-law. I thought that he was just taking this girl to a game. Turns out he was making porn of her. It's scary. Imagine how they feel as the parents. Folks, let's talk about this. President Donald Trump has launched another second attempt to restrict birthright citizenship. He's signing a pair of executive orders that are aimed at testing the boundaries of the Constitution. So, this is just like weeks after the Supreme Court already, they already said no. They ruled 6-3 on the 14th Amendment, broadly guaranteeing citizenship to nearly everyone born on the U.S. soil. Nearly is the key word right here. So, that punched a hole in his day one executive order. It was literally day one. He was like, we're gonna broadly restrict birthright citizenship. It attempted to deny automatic citizenship to children born to undocumented immigrants and temporary visa holders, which I honestly do think we should adopt. We should correct the Constitution to an extent. I don't think it should be done through an executive order. I think it should be done through an amendment to the Constitution, but that's just my opinion. Rather than abandoning the effort, the White House is now pivoting to a narrower targeted category. The first executive order is seeking to deny automatic citizenship to children born to specific groups, including designated foreign lobbyists, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and foreign government representatives outside standard diplomatic immunity. So, the second directive zeroes in on so-called birth tourism, which is a real problem, ordering federal agencies to clamp down on foreign nationals who travel to the United States under tourist visas for the express purpose of giving birth. Birth tourism. We're all very familiar with the concept because it's becoming a hot button topic issue. Many people, they're like, well, it's not that serious. Wouldn't you want to be born in the United States? Yeah, but I want my parents to do it legally. I would want them to, be citizens of the country before they went ahead and did that. He was speaking to reporters in the Oval Office. He criticized the Supreme Court's ruling as very unfair. He argued that loopholes in the current immigration laws are being exploited by foreign nationals. However, legal scholars, civil rights organizers, including the American Civil Liberties Union, I'm not sure how much their opinion really matters, have already signaled immediate court challenges. Opponents maintain that the Supreme Court's recent ruling firmly established that the president lacks any constitutional authority to rewrite citizenship guarantees by executive action. Agreed. He can't do it via executive action. I would prefer we get it done via an amendment.
Trump is making a second attempt to end birthright citizenship in the U.S. He signed 2 new executive orders yesterday.
And people need to stop with the bullshit. The people who are like actually born to citizens, the people who are born to, people who came to this country legally, they need to stop with the bull honky where they're going, well, I'm so happy that the Supreme Court shot him down because now I get to stay. You were never at any risk. Knock it off. You were never being thrown in a van. You and I both know that. The majority of these people that they were actually going after were not the people who were born to a citizen and let's say like a green card holder, a citizen, and a what's it called? What is the other term for it? My mind is blank. A lawful permanent resident and whatnot, a temporary non-immigrant, the humanitarian statuses, all that whatnot. They were going after people who literally hopped the border, people who had overstayed their green cards 20 years back. We're talking about people that were really breaking the law here. You were born to an American citizen and one person who was like, their immigration status. Well, you look back at it, we have all all the documentation. We have everything good. Like, if you're in order, you don't have anything to worry about. It's the lawbreakers that had everything to worry about. So I want people to get intellectually honest. I want people to stop going on Facebook and going, I'm so happy. My papa, he was a documented permanent resident. He was a lawful permanent resident. And thank you, Lord. I mean, yeah, like, I understand that, like, we were never in any actual risk of him being sent anywhere because, like, his papers were in order. But, like, I've been seeing on Facebook, like, all these people getting thrown into vans. I mean, granted, after they kick out a police taillight, but, like, I see all these people just being racially targeted. I see all these people that have warrants out for their arrests just getting thrown into cars, and it's like, what are we doing? I don't even recognize the country I live in anymore. So thank you, Supreme Court. Thank you so much, Supreme Court. I'm so grateful that you allowed me, somebody who was never at any risk of being thrown into a van because I don't work at a burrito shop. I thank you so much for saving me.
Today, just 5 weeks after the Supreme Court reaffirmed any person born on American soil is a citizen. The White House says the new policy will prevent fraud.
I would put this in the top 3 in terms of importance because it ends what has been one of the gravest and most egregious abuses of the American system, and it keeps American citizenship sacred.
CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Zhang joins us now from the North Lawn with more on all of this. Weijia, happy Friday morning to you. Great
Happy
to see
Friday.
you as always. Help our viewers understand the difference between these new EOs and what the president did.
What's the
previously.
T?
Well, good morning, Errol, and good morning to everybody. This time, President Trump wants to change who is eligible for automatic American citizenship at birth, and he wants to crack down on so-called birth tourism, which includes denying visas to some pregnant women who want to visit the U.S.
Good idea. That's a
President
solid
Trump
idea.
said his administration has to make adjustments after the Supreme Court struck down his executive order to restrict birthright citizenship in June.
Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it, and we're ending it a different way.
In a 6-3 ruling, the justices preserved the promise that all babies born in the U.S. are automatically American citizens.
That's an
regardless
awful
of the
idea.
parents' immigration status. Now, Trump
Regardless of the parents' immigration status, that's an awful idea. That's a terrible idea. You want I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd take the German system, the French system, over this any day. I'd rather have a generation of stateless people whose parents made the wrong choice and now maybe they're in a situation that their parents threw them into. Sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's unfortunate, but like, you gotta go somewhere. You gotta go somewhere. You gotta sort out your citizenship. That's the only thing that we can really do here.
to restrict birthright citizenship for certain categories of people, including...
We are among the only nations, up where we are, first world G7 nations. We're the only ones, essentially, that have this sort of a system where, you made it over the finish line. Technically, the kid's head came out on the plane, but like really the slop and the shit when the plane touched the ground before you guys, you took off in Moroccan airspace, but technically the baby, it came out of you when we were in American territory. So I think that means it's an American citizen. Like, what are we talking about?
Children of a foreign government employee, like ambassadors and people employed by a foreign government. Children of anyone considered an alien enemy of the U.S., and babies of foreign nationals on a visa for the purpose of giving birth on American soil, known as birth tourism. Trump was asked how many people use it.
Hundreds of thousands, okay? Hundreds of thousands.
It's thousands, but that's a bit of an exaggeration.
According to the latest numbers from the CDC,
it's thousands, like 9,600 from 2024.
In 2024, there were 9,600 births to mothers with a foreign residence, the most expansive census-based...
Over generations, sure, hundreds of thousands. That's true. That's an absolute truth, that over generations, hundreds of thousands. But over the course of years, thousands.
Estimate is between 22 and 26,000 babies a year. Some legal experts are already questioning whether these orders will hold up to court challenges.
You cannot executive order your way out of the Constitution. It says if you're born in this country and subject to the jurisdiction of this country, we do not look at the status of your parents, how they came here, or
That's
even
stupid.
if they violated immigration law.
And that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
In order to come to this country.
Democrats are pushing back against these new executive orders. In a statement, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said, if you are born in America, you are an American, period.
An American, you are an American. The Constitution says it. Yeah, you guys seem to love the Constitution, except for when I love Democrats, I love Republicans. They have this nice little trend of the Constitution really matters, and it matters exactly what it says. I love how liberals are the ones that get all constitutionalist all of a sudden, like as though they're not the ones immediately pushing forward the idea that we should be toying with the Constitution to make it more fair. We should be toying with it in order to make sure that it's protecting people's rights. That includes the people that were born here and whatnot, but in the sense of like the natives to this country deserve to be protected from those who would come from outside lands and do us any harm, even if it means harm by having children here. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you can have whatever opinion you'd like. I'm not here to tell you, what's right. I'm not here to tell you what's what. I'm here to tell you what the news is, and then you can just you can feel it, you can vibe it out with me. I'm kind of like, I feel like we need to do something about birthright citizenship. I think we should do it via an amendment to the Constitution to where we go, hey, we need to have some citizenship. We need to have some guarantees that your parents, they're solid enough people. We got to have some guarantees that you are coming from somewhere where it's like, you service us to an extent. You're not an instant American citizen just because your family made it over the line in time and you just happened to be born on the south side of Arizona. We're not going to do that anymore. I think that would listen. I know that's not everybody's opinion. I know that's not how everybody feels about it. There's some people that would do away with borders entirely. Those people are insane, and I understand that not everybody who disagrees with me would feel that exact same way. Some of them are just saying that it's cruel to take away this opportunity that has existed for generations beforehand in order to, we're a nation built on immigrants. Agreed. We are a nation built on immigrants. Immigrants is implied that we have a system that takes them in and processes them. That is what immigration is. You cannot have unregulated, unmitigated, and uncontrolled immigration. Otherwise, you don't have a country, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. That's just my opinion, and you can feel however it is you wanna. That's like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel, but I am gonna tell you how to feel about this because I feel like this is, this is unjustifiable. And if you disagree with me, you're less than human, which is all right, and that's okay. Medically assisted deaths are now legal in New York City. So listen. Terminally ill adults now, according to New York law, they, not just the city, but the state in general, they have the legal right to request life-ending medication. This is the state's long-debated Medical Aid in Dying Act. It officially took effect this week. MAID programs, as it's called mostly across the world, and medical assisted death. It was signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul, the harbinger of death that she is, earlier this year after a decade of legislative work. So it makes New York the 13th state, a gross number, alongside Washington, D.C. to authorize end-of-life medical assistance for individuals facing terminal diagnoses. Now, this is solid enough of an idea where if you have, let's call it cancer, you got 6 months to live, you got less than maybe, and you want to choose kind of the angle that you die. You want to choose when to die. Sure, I agree with that. That's pretty solid enough. And you got people with fibromyalgia. I understand you're in a lot of chronic pain. We have ways to treat that. We have medications. I understand that maybe you're like, well, why would I want to continue to live when I can just, die? Why would I want that? I feel as though the government giving you permission to die at any point is not great for the human spirit. I think it's poor for us to, especially when these conditions, in Canada, for example, in many parts of Europe, they allow you to do this for mental health purposes, financial destitution, for fixable human problems that people will run into. But no, if this person's, sleeping on the streets, if they're unhappy, and if they just kind of want to die. Also, if you're mentally incontinent, if you're unable to make decisions for yourself, they can choose that you want to die. They can choose that you're a drain enough on their hospital. Why would we want you around? And then they will choose for you. You are technically a ward of the state at that point, or a ward of the province, depending on whether or not you're placed as a province or a state system. You are a ward of the government. And the government will choose what to do with you. What will the government choose to do with you rather than spending, I don't know, however many bucks it is to keep you alive every single day? Why would we do that for like the next 26 years when we can just kill you? Why wouldn't we do that? And then we can just, we can sell your organs probably. We can get a couple people life-saving treatments. And it's, why can't we just do that? Like, why don't you just want to die? So, under new law, mentally competent state residents, they aged 18 years or older who have been diagnosed with an incurable terminal illness with 6 months or less to live can request prescription for life-ending medication. You can do that nowadays. You can go buy rat poison. You can go and start your car in the garage. You can shoot yourself in the head. You can do that at home. Why would you ever? By the way, you're adding medical debt that's going to be passed on to your family. Kill yourself at home. Well, instead of killing yourself and going the expensive route and having a bunch of medical debt to deal with, well, your family's going to deal with it because you're not going to be around. Instead of, indebting your family or doing anything like this, instead of picking up a cup of coffee on your way to work, you should really kill yourself at home. That's going to save you some serious money. So this legislation is establishing strict safeguards. Candidates must submit both oral and written requests. They have to give the guy oral? That's terrible. Why would you force people to do that to their doctor? I guess it shows that they're dedicated, but whatever. They have to give oral and have some written requests also. Or they receive independent confirmation from 2 separate physicians, complete a mandatory mental health evaluation. And the evaluation, by the way, is you sit down with what they call a psychologist. Nobody really is one. These are people who wear the priest robes of modern day Western medicine, and they break people's heads every single day. They're not real doctors. We don't even really know what a doctor is at this point. It comes from the Latin docere, which means to teach. You can do all of these sorts of things. You can spin yourself in circles. Most of these people don't know anything. They're actually taught very nothing about. Next time you go in for a vaccine, ask your doctor about it. Ask him if he knows any of the details, any of the side effects. Most of the times they are not taught any of these things in order to keep their patients in the dark. They say, well, the research is out there, you know what I mean? But most of the times these things are safe. They're complete and utter unquestioning devotees. They're the pastors of the modern religion that is Western medicine. So, they have to complete, obviously, the mandatory health evaluation. You sit down with the doctor, and then they go, do you want to die? And you go, sure, yeah, kind of. Like, everything's miserable. I don't feel like it's going to get any better. And he goes, probably not. You're like a sad sack. And, like, I honestly, like, you're bumming me out just from this conversation. I kind of want you to die. So they sign off on it. Then they observe a 5-day waiting period before the prescription can be filled. The patients must be physically capable of self-administering the medication themselves. So good luck if you have, like, the stone man syndrome where your bones have been creating your muscle tissue. Every time your muscles tear, it replaces it not with muscles but with bone. If your arm literally cannot be moved at a certain point because of the crystallized calcium and shit, if you cannot bring that pill of cyanide up to your mouth, guess what? Sorry, you're just gonna have to become a living statue for the rest of your lives. We're not letting the doctor put that little pill in your mouth. Supporters and patient advocates. Of course, patients are advocates for this. They want to die. And by the way, just kill yourself. If you want to die, just kill yourself. Stop making everything a law. Stop making it a thing where like, well, I want to kill myself, but I want to make a big show of it, and I want to teach everybody that they can kill themselves too. Shut the fuck up. Just go kill yourself. Go kill yourself and be quiet about it. Stop ruining everybody else's, stop ruining literally everybody else's lives. You're saying, hey, not only do I get to kill myself, not only am I going to ruin my life and the people around me, people won't miss me or whatever, but not only am I going to do that, I'm going to encourage the rest of the residents of my country that this is an option for them too, by making it a law. Like, how good of a person am I? You're apparently not good enough to want to stay around, so why do you even trust yourself? Most of these people, they're like, I'm so miserable, I don't even want to be alive anymore. Why would any of us listen to you? You're not an idea fountain. You're not anybody that we should be taking serious or listening to. Have you ever talked to a suicidal person? It's like, shut the fuck up. You just talk about how miserable you are. You just talk about how sad things are going. Just at this point, relieve me and kill yourself. Conversely, opponents, including healthcare conscience groups and religious organizations, stop acting like it's religious organizations that are the ones coming out and saving everybody. They want you to live so that you can have children they can molest. That's why the religious organizations want you alive. They have voiced a lot of concerns, arguing that the practice is undermining traditional medical ethics ethics. Kind of. I mean, a little bit. It depends on the situation. You know what I mean? If some dementia patient or whatever, if she was like, I don't want to live through the next 6 months of forgetting my family. I just kind of want to die. You're 60 something. Okay. You know what I mean? There's arguments to be made that your life is pretty much over. You're not a 22-year-old with cancer, which in that case, it's like, well, if you're going to be dead in 3 months, I guess you can make that decision for yourself. Well, then we start to get into the area of like, well, you're very sad. You have chronic depression. You've had it since you were 14 because your mom screwed your head up and whatnot. You know what I mean? Your mom and your dad, they argued a lot in the house and they did a lot of things that they didn't think were going to affect you in a way that it did. And now you just want to die. I'd say that we're not going to give up on you. That's my mentality around health, mental health, whatever it is. We're not going to give up on you. And if you want to kill yourself, do it at home and do it without anyone's supervision, because then you're making nobody else. You're not making a doctor sign off on your death, because in a weird way, you're making them violate their Hippocratic oath. They are doing harm. They are doing the ultimate harm. They're ending your life. And now you're ruining the medical world. You're ruining the medical industry, because now it's going to be an option on the table. Now, instead of people going like, well, I got a kidney replacement coming up. I got to do all of this. It's going to put me $60,000 in debt that I'm going to have to pay off for the rest of my life. People are going to go, why not just die? Why don't I just kill myself? And that's going to be an option now, because a lot of fucking morons are getting it baked into the law. And it's like, I think we should just go back to people killing themselves at home. I really do. I think that that's the best solution here, is people kill yourselves at home if you want to kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself in general, but if you're going to kill yourself, don't make it a law. Don't encourage other people to do it. Don't make it an option for everyone else, and have suicide continue to be this scary little thing that people do in like the darkest moments of their lives. You know what I mean? I love a good like, I left my body for my mom to find story. That's like, I like that. And I feel like if we don't keep up that culture, if we don't keep up that aesthetic of like, it's kind of ugly to be a wreck, to be a person who's like ruining the lives of your family and everybody around you because you just can't stop being a nut who's hitting yourself in the head or anything like that. It's like, you should just, at a certain point, what do you want us to say? You're doing yourself a favor. You're taking yourself out. You're doing your family a favor. Quite a few people's families are not going to be the ones to say it, but a lot of these people don't want that. Their families don't want them around anymore. A lot of these people, because they're so inherently miserable, they make Christmas miserable, they make holidays. It's like mom puts so much effort into this shit, and then so and so shows up. They're like, they're working with me. They're getting this prescription up, and what? I just can't feel happy. I just can't feel. Well, what'd you do, sweetie? Did you go out and make friends or anything like that? You going out and trying to do anything? No, I just don't feel the motivation to. I just sat at home and watched My Hero Academia all day. It's like, okay, honey, I understand. I understand why you might be feeling a little depressed at that point. I don't know, Bob. Bob's your husband, and you're like, Bob, I don't know what we're doing with this kid. He's 25 years old. He's sitting at home watching anime all day. No wonder he's depressed. He's supposed to be out slinging dick at this age. He's supposed to be out doing something with his life. He's not. It's tragic. It's pathetic. Who did we raise for a son? Honestly, you were out in high school. You were partying. You had friends and whatnot. I had my girlfriends. Like, how did we raise such a fucking loser? I don't understand that. Like, how can someone with no personality come out of two people with so much personality? And while you and your husband are having this conversation, your son has he's gone to the hospital. He didn't go old school. He didn't go like your family member that your mom doesn't like to talk about anymore. He didn't go the way of like someone who's just like their bedroom looks like how they did when they were 17, and then it stayed like that because that's the age they died. And then you go in there and it's like this weird museum that the parent has to it. He didn't go quietly. No, he went to the doctor, and the doctor gave him a little tiny pill, and that pill made all his concerns melt away along with his consciousness. Because guess what? There's no more hurt when there's no more you to hurt, ladies and gentlemen. That's the real thing. I love to talk about suicide because I would never do it inherently in my life. I would never consider it because it's the most selfish and stupid, pathetic, loserish thing you can do in your life. I have no sympathy for the people who perform it. I understand, you have a battle every day of your life until you lose it one day. then lose it. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, unfortunately, you lost. You lost because you couldn't battle your own mind. Like, you fought against yourself and lost. That is crazy. Like, can you imagine you take yourself out? Oh my God. Like, that is a new level of weak. That's a new level of, like, I just can't, like, where are you? Are you all right? What's going on? So, I'm just gonna, let's play this clip.
Starting today, terminally ill New Yorkers can now get medical assistance to die.
Sure, terminally ill.
Allows healthcare providers to give life-ending medication to patients who qualify. Anyone seeking the drugs must be at least 18 years old, be of sound mind, have a medically confirmed illness that will lead to their death in 6 months or less. They must also be able to give themselves the lethal dose. New York is now the 14th state to legalize medical aid in dying.
Well, do we like this, ladies and gentlemen? Do you like the idea that it's like, well, maybe the government's going to start doing this. Maybe when people become wards of the state in the United States, we're going to start killing them off, because why would we want this Alzheimer's patient to be sitting in our facility taking up government money when we could be funneling that to Israel where it belongs? Why would we be taking care of somebody's 70-something-year-old grandmother when we can just fucking kill her? Why wouldn't we just kill her like the pig that she is? You know what I mean? It's literally a slaughterhouse. So you go to old folks' homes, these people, they're treated like pigs, you know what I mean? They sit in their little beds and whatnot. They're washed every other day and whatnot. They hose them down. It's ridiculous. Old folks' homes are depressing. They feel like slaughterhouses. They really do. It's like the stench of flesh is in there. It's really gross. It's sad. I walk around and there's nurses that are stealing. You know it. You go to those nursing homes and you're like, I unfortunately know that you might have to swing on my grandma or my grandpa, but like, because honestly, if you've never had a grandma or grandpa who's had Alzheimer's, they swing on people sometimes. Like they'll figure out where they'll figure out, oh man, I'm kind of in an uncomfortable place. I don't really know where I am, but I do know that there's somebody else in this room, and they're probably their mind, their human brain, because unfortunately I've noticed this, especially with Alzheimer's, they revert a lot back to the kind of, it's not necessarily childlike thinking, but it's very like, I'm putting this together with the very like building block tiny pieces that I have. Woman in this room, I'm in this room, I don't know where this is, this woman must be keeping me here. And then they like go into kind of this rageful mentality. I've seen so many videos that nurses have taken of old ladies with Alzheimer's when they're in the room with them. And then I saw this one video on TikTok. This old lady was like clutching her fists and standing, trying to like intimidate the nurse. And the nurse is like this black lady, and she's going, "Step back, girl, seriously." And then then the white lady, she like grimaces and she goes like, "It's time for you to die." Like, these people, they get serious, they get violent, and it's interesting because then you see how much power they have left, and you can kind of gauge it. An Alzheimer's person that has a little bit more fight, you're like, okay, you're going to be around. I can feel it in the way that I'm having to push you back with so much energy. You got maybe a year's left in you. Oh, this one, she can barely swing. Her arms feel very frail whenever I have to grab them from hitting me in the face and scratching me. She's got maybe like 2 months, you know what I mean? Solid 2 months. Those 2 months are going to be a lot of laying in bed and a lot of visits from people that she doesn't recognize any of them. She means a lot to the people that they're going to visit, that coming to visit her, but she's just sitting in the bed. She doesn't know who's chilling. She's like, who are you again? I love Alzheimer's. It's a very interesting, weird time, you know what I mean? It's like a weird experience, but it's whatever. It's like, in medical assisted facilities, they're gonna go, why would we want that? Why would we want your grandmothers or grandparents to have times with their grandkids? They're not even gonna remember the grandkids. Why don't we just kill them? Medically assisted dying, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a curious thing. It's like a mixed bag. It's like a sure, I don't want someone with Parkinson's to be suffering for like years, and if Marty McFly was like, I kind of want to die instead of living with this condition for the rest of my life, I'd feel sad. But then I'd be like, well, he's a white guy, so of course he's going to be depressed, and if he wants to kill himself, that's very white guy of him. So yeah, go for it. He's going to kill himself. Unfortunately, I don't want Marty McFly to die. I just know that Parkinson's is horrific, and it's not a condition that anybody should have to live with. So that's my argument around it. But I have a little bit of a weirder situation with the depression thing. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be letting people kill themselves if they want to just because they have depression. Maybe they should be the ones that are still forced to go out and do it old school. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Let's, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's jump into the rapid fire section of today's headlines together, because we got a lot of things to tell you about, a lot of things to keep your media diet healthy. And Perez Hilton, I want to cover this one again because I had a great time watching the video. It's a couple episodes back, I think like 2 episodes back or so. We watched the footage together. I have it in the description of that video if you want to. I linked it back to the Reddit post that we watched it from. It's really not that bad. A lot of people are hyping it up. They're like, it's the gruesomest, it's one of the gruesomest videos I've seen. It's like, yeah, it's kind of gruesome for like a TikTok live stream, but like compare it to cartel beheading videos, compare it to like people getting rammed into a wall by a Nissan, you know what I mean? Compare it to all the things that you just casually see on the internet. It's not that bad. It's like half and half. It's like whatever. It's like it's half and half. It's not full heavy whipping cream where it's like, oh, this might like take years to get out of my brain. It's more like a half and half. It's like, okay, well, it's like it'll go in the coffee. It's not going to make the stiff peaks that you're supposed to get with whipped cream, but it's going to do something. It's going to it'll curdle before you do anything. But this is half and half. It's a cool story. It's a little bit violent when you watch it on camera. You hear like the serrated bits of the knife that are cutting into his flesh and whatnot, but it's not even that deep. Like people act like he's sawing his arm off and it's like a Saw movie, but really it's like the blades are like kind of going in. They're like and it's like, whatever. It's like, okay, if he was really like drawing blood, if I was seeing blood pouring from the wounds, I'd be like, this is intense. But it's like he's got blood all over him because he's got tiny little wounds all over his body. He's going to be out of the hospital in a few like weeks. And in reality, what I'm really worried about is his kids, because we now have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, that his kids were inside the home before his whole little shebang went off. Actually, let's just hear a teensy bit about this.
Perez Hilton's kids were inside his Miami area.
Which is exactly what I assumed, by the way, the day that we covered this. I was like, this guy's children. He has 3 kids with no one else, by the way. He like test tube baby grew these things. Weird faggot shit. Seriously, it's like you shouldn't be doing this. You should not be. You're committing crimes against these children. You're robbing them of a second parental figure. Now they're going to have to go into CPS because you're a fucking nut. I think they should be CPS. I'm like, CPS, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care. Florida homes, I know that foster care is bad in Florida. There's a lot of them where they might just go to somewhere worse. It's a risk I'm willing to take than them going back with this fucking lunatic.
Perez Hilton's kids were inside his Miami area home just minutes before his disturbing live stream, and his family says they were rushed out when it became clear he was suffering a severe mental health crisis and harming himself. Perez's family revealed the frightening...
Meaning they got to see it, ladies and gentlemen. This is code. This is media speak. For not his parents, because his mom wasn't there. His children watched their parent slice himself up, cut himself up, and get weird. He probably got weird with those kids before they got out. I'm not saying that he sexually abused them, but let's be honest, he probably was doing something with them. I'm not saying this just because he's gay, because I know that gay people can have kids. The kids are not normally the happiest people that I've met. I'm just being honest with you. They're normally very, they're outspoken and loud, but like they don't seem to have the best interpersonal lives. And it's not because their parents are always fighting or getting divorced, but it's just this. It's that I think that Perez Hilton, specifically this gentleman who just has this weird pig-like smile, his gross fat nose, his disgusting, I'm sorry, he's got the terrifying blue eyes, the blue-eyed devil. I've been talking about this before. He is this kind of white guy, faggot type, where I imagine he adopted and grew those babies in test tubes just so he could have his own little Greek force of like servants at his house. I feel like he's got some Sporus energy here. Unfortunately, I feel like he's doing something to his children.
Harming himself. Perez's family revealed the frightening new detail Thursday, saying just minutes before the public live stream incident, Perez's children, niece, and his sister were inside the home. They continued, when it became clear that Perez was experiencing a severe mental health crisis and harming himself, they immediately fled to protect the children from witnessing any further trauma.
Further, meaning they witnessed it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that anyone who is willing to, cut yourself in private. I understand that. Maybe the kids are a little stressful. Maybe you packed him a summer sausage sandwich again, and he went to school and he didn't eat it. And the teachers, they called you again, and they're like, your kid, he's just not eating. I don't know what it is. He says that he doesn't like the crust, but he just doesn't eat. You know what I mean? He's just not a hungry guy. Maybe you're stressed. You had a difficult day, so you slice your arm up a couple times. That's natural. That happens to parents sometimes. When you are the type to strip naked, like he obviously was, and to start creating cuts all over your body, like Jesus, like Jesus in the Passion of the Christ, covered in blood. And when you want to parade yourself around like that in front of your children, I'm curious what other stuff you're comfortable doing around your children, if you know what I mean.
Our highest priority right now is helping the children begin to heal from what they experienced.
So they experienced and witnessed quite a bit.
An important part of that process is helping them to safely return home and begin rebuilding a sense of security and normalcy.
Nope. Get them out. Get them out. CPS, call someone. I'm saying right now somebody should call CPS and have them removed from the home. I don't care that they're with they're with their aunts, they're with his sister, they're with their grandmother. They are also, like, I'm sorry, this entire family is under suspicion. I understand that only one of them had a mental health crisis. They this mother apparently has lived with him and his children since Las Vegas. They have had time to notice this. He is a danger. He's a danger. That's all he's ever proven himself to be. And he's like this performative fag. That's all he's been on the internet. I understand that people are going to go, well, that doesn't mean that he deserves to lose his children. Does he seem like the type who should be having them?
The family is also pleading with the media, paparazzi, and the public to stay away from the family's home so the kids can have some privacy and space to heal.
CPS should be at the home.
As we reported, Perez was rushed to a hospital Tuesday night after cops received multiple calls about the alarming live stream. His family said Thursday Perez has been able to communicate with them, which they say has given them hope. We'll keep you guys updated as we...
Okay, well, he's able to communicate, ladies and gentlemen. That's happy to hear. Perez Hilton, according to many, he gave no indication that he was distressed in the weeks that were leading up to this alarming behavior on the live stream. Shh, Windows security. Can you shut up, please? I'm in the middle of the show. His most recent social media posts were positive, you know what I mean? He was a pretty happy guy, and they were very focused around religion, which is also it's a dead giveaway. I'm sorry. And also his interest in religion, his very I'm going to talk about this like I'm a changed man, that's also giving pedophile energy. I'm sorry, he's got deep pedophile energy.
I was going for a walk this morning.
I'm not saying it just because he's gay. I'm not one of these people that's like gay automatically equals pedophile. I'm saying that it just so happens that a lot of pedophiles happen to have this gay affect. It just happens.
I was going for a walk this morning and I couldn't get that song out of my head. God, I'm just grateful for ya. And I'm so grateful for what I read in the Bible today.
What?
Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer believer. And in Exodus chapter 30...
Wait, the original influencer? Since when?
Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer believer.
Oh my God, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Jesus. The original influencer.
Work is being done to the ark by Bezalel and Aloyab.
He can't even pronounce it right.
I'm doing something different today. Instead of reading verses, I'm going to read to you some words.
Can you trim your nose hairs?
That, as I was reading, kept repeating.
What?
In Exodus chapter 36, it says, do all the work, shall work, come to do the work. We're doing the work. Doing the work which the Lord commanded to do, sufficient to do all the work and more. Did the work.
Oh my God, he looks like a gay Hunter Biden.
And this is the reminder that I needed today to continue down my paths and to work even harder. And thankfully, thanks to you, and thanks to this and the other things that I do, I enjoy my work.
What?
And hopefully you do too. Or you can find ways to make work enjoyable. Like
I'm loving this work.
having a song
that
you love playing or in your head as you go for a walk.
What?
So remember, God says, work, 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 like the Rihanna song. But But the Bible said it first.
Oh my God.
Thoughts?
I'm sorry. The gay energy, it works well if he wants to be a pastor. Pastors have kind of this, some of them have this gay energy. Some of them just have this weird kind of like, oh, you know, I host the Sunday school energy. Like, that's a lot of them, unfortunately. He's got this vibe, and I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing from him. I don't like everything that I've heard around this situation. I don't like it. I don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. And when I said kill yourself, it was a joke. It was funny. I understand that if he hears that, he might actually do it. But, you know, it's the internet. You have to expect people to be telling you to kill yourself, especially when you are giggling and acting like a fucking loony like this. I'm sorry. He's insufferable. Any person who's like deep into that sort of thing where it's like, I'm going to tell you why my faith is going to guide you the right direction. You need to sit down for a second, sweetie, because I'm going to say what Muhammad said in Bing Shriling chapters 11 verse 16 or whatever. Senator Mitch McConnell, because we're done with Paris Hilton. I already covered him slicing himself up, and that's honestly until he actually does something interesting or dies. I'm a little resigned. I don't care. You can't get me to care. You can't get me to care. You couldn't pay me to care. I couldn't care less. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I do care about? I care about the health of my grandpa. My grandpa, Mitch McConnell, has been discharged from the rehab center. My family and I, we appreciate the prayers, the thoughts that all of you have been sending, but my grandpa needs a bit more rest. His body double is getting the makeup on as we speak. He's getting ready to go to Congress, maybe for one final hurrah show, and then he's gonna die on stage right in front of all of you. But in reality, that'll be his body double faking a heart attack. He's died. My grandpa died, Mitch McConnell. He died like a month or so ago, and we've been covering it up since then. He's been trying to get me to keep a lid on it, but apparently he's back. He's back home.
Senator Mitch McConnell says he has been discharged from a rehab facility and is now back home. The 84-year-old senator was hospitalized after a fall back in June. In a statement, McConnell says he will continue physical therapy at his home. He did not say when he would return to the U.S. Senate. McConnell has missed dozens of votes on Capitol Hill during his absence.
I love how just Kentucky's been, no representative for you, punk ass. Brian Patrick Moynihan, not related to Bobby Moynihan. Moynihan, they have different last names. The attending physician of the United States Congress was caught leaving Mitch McConnell's D.C. home. There he goes.
Hello. Is there anything that you can tell us about Senator Mitch McConnell, please? Nothing at all?
Nothing at all, thank you. Have a good night.
Isn't he home right now? He said he was being brought home.
Yeah,
he left rehab.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say, thank you. Have a good night. Stay dry, it's a thunderstorm. Beautiful sunset. You should go back.
It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Can I have your name, please?
Oh, I'm just a regular guy coming here for a visit.
Just a regular guy.
Yeah.
So you did see the senator. Can you at least confirm that you've seen him today in his home?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, I have no comment to make. I just enjoy the sunset here, like solitude here. I hope you enjoy it too.
He's got peace. He's got inner peace. Brian Patrick Moynihan. He's got some inner peace. He's like, I'm just watching this sunset, helping cover up the death of a senator. Like, well, you guys should be out here doing some interesting shit. I'm out here doing interesting shit. All right, some couples and even celebrities are opening up about sleeping separately from their partners at night, saying that better sleep has helped improve their marriages. So this is like a little trend on the internet called sleep divorce. And apparently it's helping a lot of people because I don't know what their issue is. Let's hear what their actual issue is. Is it because you can't go to bed at night next to some bitch? Well, then why'd you marry the bitch?
Jared Shelton have been happily married for more than 12 years.
Happily?
But lately, their bedtime routine looks a little different than it used to. Instead of snuggling together, they kiss goodnight and head off to separate bedrooms in what's known as a sleep divorce.
This is not what are you talking about? I love how millennials, they need to make a term for everything. This is just what couples do. Like sometimes I have grandparents. My grandparents regularly slept in separate rooms. She slept in the front room. He slept in the back room. He would play all night on his GameCube and shit like that. She would stay up all night smoking cigarettes. It was a good thing for them. And that's just something that boomers have been on it. Like they watch their parents do this shit. Like sometimes you do marry the person and you sleep in separate rooms. That's like a thing. That's like not, why are we acting like this is a different thing? I have grandparents that have been doing this for like a long ass time.
The word divorce sounds harsh, but it's just, you're divorcing your sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep separation.
Your sleep separate. Yeah.
And Joe, were you like nervous about bringing it up to Lindsay?
A little bit, yeah. Because I think a lot of people equate sleeping together with intimacy, and I didn't want her to think like we were separating emotionally or anything like that. We've got an extra bedroom now. We've got an extra bed. Let's just try it out and see how it goes for both of us.
And that first night, I was up with the
Privileged as fuck. We have a second bedroom, by the way, so like we just have the space to do this. I know that if you share an apartment with somebody, it must be a little miserable if you can't get away from them.
light on, reading my book, I had my little show on, and then I realized I kind of like this. It's kind of fun.
Okay, you guys, this is night 2 of sleep divorce. I got home late because I went out with some friends. Didn't have to sneak into my room because he's not in here. He's in his room.
Yeah, that's like a thing. People have been doing this for generations. People would generally do it if they didn't like their spouse. People would do it if they just didn't like the stress of being in the same room. I remember, like, my grandpa, he used to say that it worked for them. He was like, I don't kick her in the leg anymore when we sleep, and she doesn't yell at me for it in the morning, and I'm like, good for you guys.
Chronicling the couple's transition to sleeping apart on social media.
I'm in the bathroom, about to take a shower with some music on.
So, okay, yeah, you have gauges in your nose and you're like a weirdo. Like, I don't understand. What's your point? What are you trying to get across? That you have a big enough house to do? Great job. You're flexing on all the broke asses who live in a single bedroom apartment with their spouse.
Is this the life I've been missing?
Jared, what was that first night like for you? Was it weird?
Honestly, I slept so much better. I felt great the next day.
King-size beds.
And they're not alone. Other couples posting about their solo sleeping arrangements too.
Start off. My room is on the main level. His room, you have to go upstairs.
Even celebs are getting candid. Actress Kaylee Cuoco telling the Armchair Expert podcast how her fiance broached the issue.
So he's like, how do you feel if I sleep in that other room? And he goes like,
oh, that's the woman who played the one girl. Who's the neighbor in the what is the show? Big Bang Theory. She's the one girl. She's supposed to be like the pretty girl who's like, she's average looking. Jenny. What's her name? Penny. That's what it is. Damn it.
Game changer.
Legendary singer and actress Bette Midler telling Entertainment Tonight this about her nearly 42-year marriage.
So what is the secret to a long, happy marriage?
Separate bedrooms, because my husband snores on it.
It's not a bad idea. The guy gets to goon. The woman gets to do what she does. Women goon too sometimes. It's just not as frequent. It's true. There's some women that are a little more active with it, but like let's be honest, the majority of the people that are going to be, shucking the corn, it's not going to be people flicking the bean. It's reality.
As for Lindsay and Jared, they say their sleep divorce has been a marriage saver.
What has this done for y'all's relationship?
We're best friends, but then there's also time apart.
Okay.
And that's whenever we're going to sleep.
I think a lot of people get a little bit hung up on the symbolic parts of a relationship.
No,
that,
yeah.
They're your other half, and they complete you, and we shouldn't complete each other. We should be two complete people that chose to do life together.
Agreed. You know what? Totally agreed with that message. I just think that it's kind of gay to be acting like, well, we just made this new thing. It's called sleep divorce. And it's just like it's so good for your marriage. Yeah, everybody knows that like taking time alone, it's generally good for your marriage because then you appreciate the time that you have together more. It's like this is basic shit. This is not like life changing. This is not game changer. This is not anything where I'm like, I'm thoroughly impressed that how did you come to this conclusion? It's like my grandparents, they figured this out years ago, but it's because they did not like each other. It's because they did not enjoy sleeping in the same bedroom, and they argued every time that they were awake together. That's why a lot of these people fall into these sleeping arrangements. It's not everybody. It's not everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay. Wild video. This is showing Democratic congressional candidate Kirill, I think it's Kirill, K-I-R-I-L-L, Kirill Bassin, involved in an unhinged beach brawl in Maui after allegedly threatening beachgoers with a knife. Officials say the incident began when a 61-year-old man asked Bassin to lower the volume of his music. According to reports, Bassin then threatened the man by implying that he had a firearm and would shoot the man's wife. What? Footage shows Bassin making threats to people on the beach, including including, "I'll put you in the fucking ground," before a bystander steps in to try to defuse the situation. The confrontation turns violent and ends with Basin appearing to be knocked unconscious onto the ground. Police arrested the 40-year-old and charged him with 2 counts of first-degree terroristic threatening. Basin, who is running against Representative Jill Tokuda for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District, is now being held on a $1 million bail. 10%, that's going to be a rough one to pay, my guy. I hope you have a good lawyer. Let's see this clip.
I'm a child. I'm 40 years old.
I'm 40 fucking years old, and you don't have an ass. You really don't have an ass. Some people, by the way, they do not have an ass, and they should not be wearing, like, boxers only at the beach or whatever. You gotta have some curvature to your back. You gotta have some detailing. Otherwise, you look just, like, malformed. You look like a hunchback. We don't want to see you at the beach. Bitch, he says to her. Oh, he shoves the guy first. Oh, the guy plows his fist, and he trips over a bunch of fucking little chairs. He's like, "Let's go." He swings the chair at the guy and gets knocked over. Oh, and gets knocked out. The guy didn't even touch you. The guy didn't even touch you. How, little boy? Dude, he's just stumbling around. I'm good, yeah. You're going to jail. There he goes, walking away. I hope Jill, she seems better than this guy. I don't know whether or not Jill is out there getting in fights on the beach, but maybe she is. Maybe all of Hawaii is people that like to have fun like this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this clip. Mamdani booed off of a stage in under a minute at an NYPD event. Yikes. So, he was loudly booed after an appearance at the NYPD event on Staten Island. He left the stage in under a minute as members of the crowd jeered and chanted. My brain read the words chanted and jeered and then combined it into cheered. But they jeered at him and chanted. So let's take a look. Let's go, Knicks! Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some more
dancing. Maybe he was just there to give a brief message. We can't assume that he was automatically escorted because people were booing him. I mean, they were, but we can't assume that he just didn't want to be on that stage. Maybe this is what he had planned. Maybe he understood that this is going to make the police look like they're racist. He was actually playing 4D chess with your checkers, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need to talk about this, our final story of the day. There is a $20 burrito that is, it's got a lot of people, a fiery debate online, quite honestly. A small business, a survival, you know what I mean? I understand that. You gotta compete with the regular Subway chains and, the cost of living squeeze. I get that it's tough. I think that a $20 burrito is a little bit ridiculous. This was, okay. It was originally considered a casual meal. It's a decent option. They have largely crossed the $20 threshold in many urban areas across the country, and restaurateurs are defending the steep prices. They're pointing out that the unprecedented spikes in essential ingredient costs alongside rising operational overhead, business owners are more likely to report dramatic price increases for staples like beef, cooking oil, produce, and paper goods, compounded by higher minimum wages and delivery app commissions. So, It's your fault that your burrito costs $20 now because you wanted to pay the people who made it a living wage. That's just not, it's not going to work. I'm sorry. For a lot of people, it's just not going to work. For independent food spot operating, it's on a razor-thin margin. Owners are now saying that $20 for a burrito is no longer about maximizing profit. It's a matter of keeping their doors open and breaking even against stubborn inflation costs. So, this is a debate that a lot of people are having. Critics are arguing that the high-priced casual food is a lot of corporate greed. Casual cultural norms about eating out are being changed. Industry experts are emphasizing that small businesses can't compete with the purchasing power of massive fast food chains. So, let's hear a little teensy bit more about this.
It's a tweet that set off a political debate over the price of burritos.
We're going to bring you up to speed on the great burrito debate of 2026.
A spokesperson at Turning Point USA spilled the beans, posting that a college student recently complained to him about the rising cost of food, telling him a burrito shouldn't cost $20. That post hit a nerve among conservatives, discussing food prices which are up more than 4% since...
If they're real conservatives, though, if you're like a real conservative, you make your food at home. You're not out there, you're not, getting that toxic, cancerous garbage into your body. You're staying at home and you're going maha.
Trump took office.
A burrito shouldn't cost $20.
Yeah, but it does.
Wrong. Prices are out of control. People can't afford it. It's undeniable. Just undeniable.
President Trump has insisted that prices are coming down, but even some of his own supporters are raising concern, like this person whose email was read on the Charlie Kirk show.
We have 5 kids. Groceries are unaffordable. I am a Trump guy, but he is not turning this around. It doesn't matter how often he brags about eggs.
Others say young people should stop complaining. Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw posted, "Stop whining, get a job, eat ramen like the rest of us did in college."
He's not wrong about a lot of the college kids that are bitching about it, but you know what I mean? There are some people that are like, they're working solid enough jobs. They're still struggling here and there. You'll admit, there are some people that they need to shape up. They're lazy about it. They need to get better paying jobs. Admittedly, there are some people that stay in positions long enough and they devalue themselves. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it happens to some people, but there are ways around it. There are alternatives. There's ways to get more money.
Conservative columnist Mark Thiessen wrote, "Cry me a river. The burritos in the college cafeteria are included in your meal plan," saying that a burrito only costs $20, quote, "when you buy it on DoorDash." Vice President J.D. Vance taking the student side and firing back at Thiessen, saying, "I'm surprised to hear Mark say this. If you've ever met him in person, it's quite obvious the man has never missed a burrito."
JD did not write that, I promise you. He's not that funny.
Trump campaign official responded saying people should not dismiss the economic anxieties of young Americans.
We should not. Absolutely. I also am like, who's eating a burrito? I'm going to be honest with you. What is a burrito again? Like, according to science, what is a burrito? And by burrito definition, because I've never been a burrito guy. I've always been a soft shell taco guy. I've never been a type where I'm like, I need as many beans as possible. And I'm like, fuck that. A burrito is a cylindrical dish made by wrapping a wheat flour tortilla around a dense mixed filling of meats, beans, rice, cheese, and vegetables. Originating from northern Mexico and popularized heavily in the United States, it differs from a taco because the tortilla is fully closed and rolled rather than folded. Wait a minute. So I've been eating soft shell tacos like burrito style this whole time? Because I'll do a wrap. I'll do like okay, so if it's a circular tortilla, which every single one is, you put like a kind of like a cylindrical shape of the meat in the middle. Then around the short ends of that cylinder of meat, you push in, you tuck the sides, and then you roll it after that. Then you roll it in order to get it tucked. Is that a burrito style roll? Because I'm white, right? Like, I don't know all of the specifications. I grew up eating soft shell tacos from like Taco John's and thinking that's what a soft shell taco was. But is it just like a burrito without all of the extra fillings? Is that what it is? Who's eating a burrito then? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care about the beans. I don't care about the extra. What else is in it? Burrito ingredients. How is this significantly different from a taco? Ingredients versus taco. Okay, so it's left open, and that's the key difference, is that a burrito is not left open. A taco is. According to this, a taco shell is much smaller, around 4 to 6 inches on average, but a burrito shell is much larger, around 10 to 12 on average. It's wheat-based, it's a flour tortilla, elastic, thick, and strong enough to hold heavy contents without tearing. Taco wraps are much weaker, or often they're hard shell. Burritos, they got bulk fillers like Mexican rice. Who wants Mexican rice? That shit's disgusting. I can't eat that. Refried or black beans, proteins, carne asada, shredded chicken, carnitas or ground beef, melted cheese, sour cream, guacamole. How is this any different? Okay, proteins in a taco. Grilled meats, fish, barbacoa, or chorizo. Minimal and fresh toppings, usually raw diced white onion, fresh cilantro, lime juice. So the difference is that a taco is open. That's it. But wait, and that burritos have beans in it? Have I been making soft shell tacos wrong this entire time by folding them like a burrito, or have I just invented a brand new food? This is soft shell tacos Ollie style, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've had enough fun for Friday. I hope that you have had a wonderful time listening to these stories. I had a wonderful time gathering them for you. If you'd like to be back at it again with me on Monday, I'll give you the weekend off so you can take a rest because I know this has been a lot. We'll be back at it again on Monday to talk about whatever news happens to drop over the weekend or on that day, whatever there is to talk about, whatever we feel like talking about. If you'd like to be there for it, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, like if you liked it. In the meantime, I have been Ollie Vogt Larson with your brain on air. Thank you all so very much for listening. I'll catch you in the next broadcast, and bye-bye.